Our next session is the Infocom Product Innovators Showcase. This is a special platform for showcasing new and innovative products. Our focus to host this session is to provide new innovators and entrepreneurs an opportunity and a platform to showcase their innovations to their relevant target audience at a unique and top-notch B2B platform like Infocom. Today, we have one such innovator showcasing his product. The rules of the showcase is just one. That is, you have exactly 10 minutes to showcase your product, and when the buzzer rings, you will have to stop. If we have time at the end, we will definitely take questions from the audience. Our presenter is from Math Street Den today. He is Mr. Abhishek Awadhani, VP and Head of Finance, Strategy and Operations, Math Street Den. In his current role, Mr. Abhishek is responsible for the finances and strategy development and execution at Math Street Den. Prior to this, he was the co-founder and chief business and finance officer at Makajai, an edtech startup developing education games for K5 kids, which he and his co-founders grew to 5 million global users with strong bottom-line profitability. He successfully exited the startup in 2019. Prior to this, Mr. Abhishek was a part of the strategy and M&A team at Zensor Technologies, an RPG group company. Before that, he was a part of Morgan Stanley's private equity team dedicated to investing in Indian infrastructure and was a part of the investment banking team prior to that. Ladies and gentlemen, before welcoming Mr. Abhishek Awadhani on the stage for his innovation showcase on Math Street Den, I now request Mr. Shantanu Dhanraj, the Director, Demand Generation Strategic Accounts, to kindly come up on stage for a brief intro on Math Street Den. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I suppose it has rather been a long day for all of us, and I can assure you that I wouldn't be taking a lot of time. It'll be a quick introduction of what Math Street Den is all about and the company that it is. So let me start by saying this. Let me start by congratulating ABP and Infocom for completing 18 years. So can we have a round of applause for them, first of all? A little louder than what we are actually already listening to. I've been clapping on my hands and on my thighs because I know at times you forget that somebody's asking you to applaud. But right now I feel that you guys have done an amazing job in terms of organizing and maintaining the decorum and maintaining the entire structure of this event. So kudos to you guys. Let me come back to what I was actually going to talk about. So Math Street Den is a computer vision company which is using AI and helping retail and e-commerce industries out there right now. So how does it work? Math Street Den has a product called View.ai. I would request you guys to actually go ahead and Google it, try and see what I'm talking about and what Abhishek would be talking about later on. So what we do is we use artificial intelligence to make sure that we are able to resolve and solve problems of retail and e-commerce industry. It can be anything. It can be in terms of their entire day-to-day activity, right from the time of merchandising till the time to tag the products, maybe personalization, and even through e-commerce to make sure that we are able to use AI models. That being said, I've just given you an overview of what we do. There's a lot of deep dive into it, which I will have Abhishek present it. The reason I want to do that is because we are not trying to do AI as a platform for all the retailers and e-commerce industries right now. We're trying to make sure that it is actually an intelligent retail automation process which would help all the retail and e-commerce industries around the world, not only in India, to make their life easier. We don't want manual labor tagging into all the product that comes into merchandising. We want automated process to make sure that it is done faster, quicker, and with lesser manpower and lesser money to be paid. With that being said, I will have Abhishek take over. Thank you so much, guys.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Shantanu. So, yeah, so at Madsuite Den, we serve retailers all across the globe. We serve some of the largest retailers in North America, in LATAM, also in India. Any retailers out here, by the way? Okay. So, I just quickly take you through the key things, right? Okay. So when we started working on the retail vertical, what we realized is the retail problem is actually a data problem, right? And there are three big problems there. One is retail data is inaccurate. So you'll not believe, but a lot of catalog teams, QA teams, literally work across thousands and millions of SKUs on Excel sheets, right? And that increasingly, increases chances of errors, right? So that's a huge issue, right? Number two, because of these, data errors, whatever data you have is used ineffectively, right? So as you see, data workers waste 50% of their time finding and correcting errors, right? And then the third thing is that because the retail company is spread across, merchandising, cataloging, marketing, right? There's no single view of the customer across the departments, again, because the customer journey is not kind of mapped in automated, right? So that's the third issue, right? So we solve all of these three issues, right? Number one, we are an image recognition, a computer vision company. So we create the correct data with visual AI, right? We look at your images and we start from there. Number two, we automate the use of data across various workflows. We have different tools, different products for different functions, be it cataloging, be it marketing, be it photo shoots, right? And because now, we have this single, piece of AI flowing through your systems, right? We can create a unified view of the customer for the retail company and therefore bring a lot of efficiencies on the cost side and also drive a lot of personalization, which helps increase revenues, right? So that's what we are doing, right? We are reimagining the retail industry with AI, right? These four buckets, there are various products, right? And numbers that you see below are literally the ROI that we are driving for our customers, right? So number one, what we do is we recognize products. We automate the attribute extraction, right, through our automated tagging solutions. What that does is it reduces the time to market by 20%. That's a huge thing, right? You can, have new SKUs uploaded much quicker. We have a new product called View Model, which literally takes your hanger images of the products and puts it on the models in a digital way. And that literally, reduces the time of the photo shoots and the cost of the photo shoots drastically. So, that again leads to a lot of cost savings. We automate a lot of merchandising workflows, and we literally personalize the customer journey, right? Across the first time he's logging in till the time he's, going to the cart and making the payment. So that kind of drives a lot of revenue per visitor, right? So that's what we do. We create data, we analyze the data, we share the data, we learn the workflows, and because we are AIs, right, we automate these processes, right? It feeds back into our engines, and that helps us, drive better results to the customers every time. So, these are the products, right? Catalog management, styling, visual merchandising. We kind of can create different style profiles for our customers. We personalize the user journeys, as we said earlier, right? We have a lot of things called as View Studio, wherein we can automate social media, right? So these are the, this is one of our products, right? View Tag. What we do over here is, if a customer of ours, right, he were to literally send us his catalog of photos, our AI engine would kind of look at it and generate all of these tags or attributes, right? So you would know that, okay, this is an Indian red color, it's a short sleeve dress, it's a knee length, right? It would not only do that, it would generate the description, which is again optimized for search, right? And that's a huge thing. So you don't have to have your catalog team, punch in this data into an Excel sheet every time, right? All you do is your QA folks kind of just look at this, adjust the attributes maybe, but it significantly reduces your tagging times. So that's one of the products. The second is personalization. So if a customer is looking at this particular product, right, our engine will then start suggesting different products to you, either based on color, right? So if you kind of click on the red colored product, you can kind of then have different patterns and shapes, depending on what is your last click, will literally personalize your journey to as real time as possible, which is very different from a lot of other recommendation engines, wherein typically they will personalize or suggest any product based on a cohort of users, not based on your particular journey. So that's a huge difference, and that literally, right, I mean, that's one of the examples for ROIs that we've driven, right? One of the largest, marketplaces in LATAM, right? They saw 180% increase in revenue per visitor, right? Between two product versions. That's a huge increase, right? It's almost 2x the revenues that you're driving. So that's the second product. The third product which we recently launched, and we don't have a slide for it, which is what is called View Model. Again, for any of you who know retail, right, photo shoots is a huge time and cost factor for a retailer, right? It takes a long time to assemble the photo shoots, to get different models, to kind of process those photo shoots. So it can, take as long as 30 days at times, right? It can cost up to $1,000 for a photo shoot. So that's a fairly significant cost. Now, what we do with View Model is that if you send us just the hanger image of the product, right, we can have it digitally draped onto your models, right? And the entire process takes 2 or 3 days, that's it. So you reduce your cost, you reduce your time to market drastically from 30 days to about 3 days, right? And that also reduces the cost of the photo shoots, because you don't need a photographer, you don't need, the models to be used over and over again, right? You can just simply drape a product on the model, and that's a huge ROI that we're driving. We're seeing a lot of excitement for these products across the globe. As I said, we work with the largest retailers in US, in Europe, in LATAM. We've just launched in India. We're seeing a very good response for the products here. So that's really it from my side. If you have any other questions, we still have 1 minute. So happy to answer that. Okay, no questions, I guess. So, yeah, I think we finished within the 10 minutes allotted. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, guys.